Howdy, and welcome to Lala is Bound by Ivan Zanotti's MyMadnessWorks. Down a link in the description if you'd like to play. It is name your own price, so if you're able to support the developer and you have the means, I would really appreciate it. I'd also appreciate it if you checked out the other link in the description to help deliver humanitarian aid to the people of Palestine. So, if you have the means, you're able to, and, comfortable enough, being able to part with a little cashola, I would appreciate it if you checked out, you support the developer, support the people of Palestine. I would really appreciate it. So Lala is Bound is a game about making agreements and signing contracts and having to stick with the terms and conditions of these contracts. It's a horror game in the vein of, I believe the itch page said, Fatal Frame. This is a prototype. We're going to learn a bit more about that in a moment, but there is also a write-up on the itch page to kind of set some context before this smiling and surely very happy and not ominous at all. This face will probably give us more context after that. And such is the fate of Lala. After waking up in a mysterious place, she finds herself bound by unfathomable rules. But said rules can and will change. Lala will be greeted by a voice, one which offers ever-exchanging agreements. Or ever-changing, not exchanging. I'm an idiot. I don't know how to read. Your purpose is to guide her through the facility's surveillance cameras. Will you be able to help her? In any case, good luck. So that's all the context we really get from the itch page, but I'm sure, our friend here probably has a bit more to say to us. To the attention of players, first of all, good morning. The prototype you're about to play is one with no purpose. That's why I'm going to establish an arbitrary win condition. As soon as Lala points her eyes towards the moon, you will win. That will do. Before starting, though, I need you to understand something crucial. If the housekeeper were to appear on screen, try to change framing as soon as possible. There is no way to save yourself from that. If you were to die that way, your progress will be lost. I repeat, prevent the housekeeper from remaining visible on screen. It's not so much that the housekeeper is going to it's not like, I see a monster, they're going to get you. It's something in perceiving them and keeping them visible on screen, much like how I'm doing now, where the danger is presented, it would seem. Good luck. And with that, we hear a little chime, and we wake up in this mysterious facility. In accordance with Article, we would like to present your current agreement to you. The subject declares the following. You are not allowed to use your own eyes. Instead, your sight will be associated with surveillance cameras. You are not allowed to use your own ears. Instead, your hearing will be associated with microphones of said cameras. You are relinquishing the ability to speak. Furthermore, you declare that you cannot break the agreement under penalty of death. Unfortunately for me, though, I am going to keep speaking, so I will be put to death at the end of this video. But, maybe it'll all be worth it in the end. So, Lala is Bound has a little control scheme you may be familiar with in horror games, a little thing called a tank control. So, I can move forward, it's with the, I was going to say the D-pad, but it is my WASD keys, and I turn using the mouse. Unfortunately, though, Lala does not look like she's doing so hot. She's holding like her ribs, probably not feeling too good. The door is locked. We're not told, what we would need to open the door, but we can make an assumption about how doors open and close and such. We are limping along though, which isn't great for us, but if we come in here, we have a locker, and we can see inside of the locker there is some kind of tool. One would assume a crowbar, just given the nature of video games. We'll find the key in the study to wherever the clinic anteroom leads to. One would assume the clinic. It'd probably be a pretty safe assumption there. Kitchen anteroom. A lot of anterooms, one would notice. So I'm not going to lie. When I'm thinking of an anteroom, what that invokes to me is that we found a key, the storage room key. Thank you very much. What that invokes to me is like basically a fancy word for like a waiting room or hallway. I could be wrong. This one's locked with a sturdy padlock. We weren't told. That first door that we saw just said it was locked. We weren't given any, we weren't told anything about it. We picked up this key though. It told us exactly what it went to. The storage room. We can come over here and we can see some kind of silhouette, a figure over there, and another key. So I believe that this would be where our storage key would be used. Storage key, or the storage room key worked. We can enter now. We can come in here and we can see this wooden figure nailed to the wall. Probably not great for them, but they're wood. Sometimes wood gets nailed to things. It happens. We're as empathetic as we would like to be. It is just a wooden figure. So we feel bad, but there's not much we can do. We're not allowed access to the lobby. However, we did get the locker key, so this locked locker will no longer be lockered, and we can open it up and acquire a crowbar, which we can switch to. So you probably are going to want to look at the controls for this game. They're not like terribly complicated or anything. It's pretty standard. But you might want to be aware that whenever you have something like a weapon, like a crowbar, you can ready it with right click, left click. You can attack. Just in case you ever need to attack something or shatter a window. It's not going to be used like a tool like our keys thus far. We do have to use it according to the article. We must inform you about changes to your current agreement. In addition to the benefits offered so far, the following updates are now available. You'll be granted indefinite access to the lobby. Well, we would love that because we don't really have anywhere else we can go at the moment. The amount of injuries you can sustain will be increased to 3. Access to the facility will also be granted to our toys, so you won't be alone anymore. Interact with the terminal at the end of the corridor to accept the contract proposal. So, this room's fun. As you noticed, the only way in is through this window that we had to break open. And there's some kind of terminal here that we can interact with, and we can come in here, and we can see our current agreement. It's just what we were told, that we use the cameras instead of eyes, microphone, waiver the use of our voice. But this applies to the player character, not us, I suppose. Although I will be put to death regardless. It's just the way it is, baby. Because as you've noticed, we have these fixed camera angles like you would expect, like in a Resident Evil, like Resident Evil 1, 2, or 3. Yeah. I think 3 was the same way with the fixed cameras. And the idea being that we, the player, are, aiding Lala along. We're looking out for her through this. Although it says like waiving the use of your eyes, so you might also assume that something strange is going here. And perhaps she is viewing it the same way we are. That's just speculation on my part. I don't know. Absolute prohibition of contract termination. This contract will never be terminated, although we can upgrade it. We were told we have 1 injury available. We have apparently 1 bullet as well. And we come in here and just telling us this will give us access to the facility. Our health will go up to 3, and the toys will be released into the facility. And we don't really have much of a choice here at the moment. So we'll go ahead and just agree and see what we can see. Now we have access to this lobby, so we can get around a little bit more. This is kind of an interesting lobby, just for like recliner type. Well, it's not really a recliner, but it's like a dad chair. You're just chilling here. We can come over here. We have a blue X. We have big shutters. Yep, we're not allowed to leave the facility. So one would assume that this would be like an exit, perhaps to like a van drop off for like goods coming into whatever this facility is. So we have green circle, blue X are the shapes that we have seen. Because I don't want to brag, but I had a pretty good education, and I can tell shapes and colors and make thoughts and remember them sometimes. We come in here, and this is something that I think is interesting. You can like see the camera like change like as you walk around. It's kind of fun. I'm not exactly sure what this is. We can't hit it, and it doesn't appear to be the housekeeper. I'm not exactly sure, but I mean that's what we notice. We also notice a yellow diamond, famous of Steven Universe. We have a code. If we knew the code, we could enter it, but unfortunately, no code is known to me at this time. We can come in here. We have another one of those wooden figures, this time nailed to a red triangle. Nothing else in this room, just a wooden figure. Just, normal. It's very normal to have these things out and about, just to take a wooden simulacrum of a person and, nailing it to a wall. Why not? I was also very worried saying simulacrum because I have a very sneaking suspicion that my pronunciation on that is off. So we come over here. We see shapes, colors, and we utilize the thing that we have access to, our memory, and we find matching. You just match them. I don't mean I'm going to say this. It's going to sound like I'm being rude to the game, but it's puzzle for baby. It's shapes and colors. But that doesn't mean it's bad just because it's puzzle for baby. And also, speaking of baby, here's a little friend. One of those wooden figures that we've been seeing. Nailed to the wall. Oh, it got me. Gave me the business. So yes, whenever we take too much damage, you start back near the beginning. However, when we signed that new contract, we were told like, oh hey, this will save your progress. So now, our progress was saved after we did crowbar stuff. So we can take 3 hits. You might have noticed when I was attacking that wooden figure, it did react. You can hit it. Combat's a little tricky because you don't have a ton of range, and that wooden figure seems to attack pretty quickly. We can try some combat. See if we can fight off our assailant a little bit better. They don't seem to come into here until we enter this room. Maybe if we get a better camera angle, we can attack. We can also back off and play a little defensively, but I find that, aggression will normally do it. Unfortunately for us, the figure is kind of facing away, so you can't really see, but they just slump down and kind of stop if you hit them a bunch, which I mean, that could be said about a lot of things, a lot of people. If you hit them until you hit them enough, they will eventually stop. It is just, the way that mortality works, even though that was a wooden figure of some sort, who's to say what kind of, thing drives its living and such, you understand. Something made it get up. We were told that it was a toy, so perhaps you could maybe think about, oh, Lala, I've come to rescue you. You need to leave this place once and for all. Okay, so I'm guessing that that's supposed to mean that this is a window with a shutter over it. I kind of thought they were blinds, but it would seem to be a shutter. We are sealed in here, having to make strange contracts with a strange voice. So something's going up here, and they don't want us to particularly leave. Although we know we're here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to view the moon. We found a gun loaded with 1 bullet. We can equip it with the mouse wheel. So now we have a gun. If we just needed to do some combat, not that there's anything we need to be worried about. No reason to just kind of book it out of that room. We have gun. There's nothing to be afraid of now that gun is on our side. We could use that gun to fight this figure. You'll notice this figure, it's a little bit different than the one that we saw previously. Kind of taller, like an adult, as opposed to the other one that we saw was probably a bit more of like a child. And the thing with this figure here, it's also not, it is like a mannequin, but it's more woody than or it's less woody than like the other one we saw previously. And also it has a very, very long kick that it's going to try and get us with. We can obviously fight it, but maybe we'll just run away. When we come back here, you might have noticed when I pushed that button, it said like, oh, camera, what was it? 3Y35. Turn my eyes towards the sky, Lala. Do not worry, I am planning to. So we're kind of given guidance about like, oh hey, this camera's going to come down. So you have to pay attention to like the camera's things that were listed off. When you go into like a new room, it's like, oh, here's this one. It's kind of trying to guide you back to where you found the gun. So you have to be paying attention to the... Oh, she got me. You have to be paying attention to, what cameras and such... Or not what camera... Yeah, what cameras and such that you our viewing, and you got to book it back there because you're only given like 6 seconds, so it is a pretty tight window. You can kind of run out of time very easily, and unfortunately now I do believe that we hadn't updated our contract, so I will have to go collect the gun and the camera again. So I will meet y'all back, there, when we had the camera. Because the camera will help us. It'll help us turn our eyes towards the sky. We're looking at regular window, yes, because I need to smash it. I also might try to take out that figure again. We could, even though we need bullets to shoot the padlock off, perhaps we could also use it to maybe get a bit of an edge in combat against, the taller figure with the big kicks. Uh-oh, there's proposing a change to our agreement. Okay, so let's see what new things are actually being offered to us. We can opportunity to recover health. It's not necessary to do. I don't think we have to do it. But we will recover our health in exchange for we won't be able to deal damage while in rooms with white floors, which is an interesting mix-up. We could go for it. Actually, maybe we should go for it, because I was hit once by that wooden figure, so it'd probably be not a bad idea to go for it. You might want to, check out what floors are white. Like, yeah, we would be in trouble in here. I mean, we don't plan on spending a lot of time here, though, since we're just going to, book it. I really do like that figure appearing in the corner like that. It's creepy. It gets you like, oh no, there's something here that wasn't. It's a classic of scare. You love to see it. Oh, this figure is booking it. They do have longer legs, so it does make sense that they would be able to catch up a little bit quicker. And I will come in here. We could attempt to engage in some gunplay combat. Yeah, 3Y35. So we're just running back to get the thing. We could use that gun on the thing. Maybe injure it. Maybe take it down a little bit easier than we can with our crowbar. However, then what are we gonna do about that door? We need a bullet to open up that sturdy padlock. You could, depending on how sturdy the padlock is, you could perhaps, maybe, just smash it with the crowbar and not need a gun. So let's come over here, because we were offered, full restoration of health, which I believe would just be 1 HP at the moment, and then we'll not be able to deal damage while on the white floor. So let's just go ahead and accept it. Why not? Is it written differently over here? The crowbar does not cause damage in white rooms. Okay, so it is specifically the crowbar that doesn't cause damage. So now we're over here. Oh, where'd you go? Did you run away? Where are you, friend? Oh, no, you're just waiting over there. So we could attempt to get into combat. Oh, here we go. We got it like in a corner. So now that we have, there we go. I like this one. So, the other one kind of slumps down to its knees whenever it falls, but this one just kind of like slumps backwards. It's pretty cool. Another change to our agreement. Yeah, tell me about these bennies. I love to hear about a benny. So we can go get more bullets. That could be cool. I mean, we did take down the bigger one. Injuries will be canceled for a total of 1. I'm not exactly sure what that means. You will be prohibited from running on green-colored floors. I enjoy running. I also don't know what your first conflict will be rendered null. Not exactly sure what those mean. However, with our camera that we got, we can now go into first person, which I guess, assuming that this game, continues to be developed, it's a prototype. Perhaps, the camera play would end up coming up more. But it does give us access to first person. So we can come over here. We see the numbers. I believe that is 555834617, which, is very funny, because of the stipulations put on Lala. Even though that was right in front of her face, she could not make out that code. So, even though she should have realistically been able to see it, she was not allowed to see it, you could say. And with that, we have unlocked the shutters. There are a couple shutters that we've seen throughout here. We can run over here, we can just pop out this window, and we come to the outside. We did briefly go outside, so we can look up, we can look at the sky, but unfortunately the moon is nowhere in sight. We can come over here. Look here. So we can look here. There's not really anything to see that I'm making out. Like perhaps if we stared long enough, you know, something with the housekeeper would come up, because we haven't seen the housekeeper this entire time. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Perhaps something for the full game. You know, maybe there's a secret there if we were to stick around and look around a bit more. I'm guessing, however, you know, a lot of it's like, you know, oh, this isn't like a full version of the game, you know. So maybe that has something to do with that and not this. Who knows? Yep, they went. According to article, we would like to thank you for the time spent in our company. If you wish to start the treatment over, you simply need to avoid the moon. Go to the contractual room to reset your progress. So yes, if you make it to the... otherwise, congratulations and goodbye. Yes, we have seen everything there is to do in this game, sort of. You know, we were told, like, oh, the shutters are going to open. They did not open the shutters that would allow us to escape out that way. You know, they can't allow us to leave. However, we did see one more shuttered window when we come here. We see this exterior. It's kind of, you know, we can see over there where we push that button. It's kind of a strange location, you know. It's kind of like a balcony kind of deal. But we have a chair, and we can look around. And there it is, the moon. I mean, we can. It's probably a safe assumption that that is the moon. Oh, I can't exit first person now. Look at her. It's always there. To tell you that those things aren't useful to you. Thoughts? A reason? She shines on yet another failure. You won, Lala. We did it. Are you ready to try again? Well, I mean, why would we try again? Little music comes in. We did avoid seeing the housekeeper unless it's housekeeper time. Lala is bound. Yeah, so, you know, it's a short little idea. I would be very excited to see a full game come out of this. A failure by Ivan Zanotti. Also, I noticed this in the actual like game file thing. Like when I was looking at the taskbar, it was called Scrapped Project, I believe. I think this is a really interesting one. I would love to see this, you know, be developed out into a full game and see what kind of things you could do with that, seeing the different kinds of strange contracts and mix-em-ups you would get. But yeah, I really like this game. I think this is a developer to keep an eye on. And, you know, that was Lala is Bound. We did manage to see the housekeeper, so who knows why we were told that? Is that a full game thing? Is there a secret that we missed? Did I just luck out? I don't know, but I suppose maybe one day we will find out. So that was Lala is Bound by Ivan Zanotti's MyMadnessWorks.